Coach, exactly how you drew it up at the end there, surely.
Not quite. Maybe we probably felt like we could go toe-to-toe for a little bit longer in terms of possession, but that's a very good team that we've just beat. They've got a clear identity with the ball. I thought it's kind of a game of two halves. I thought once we showed that we could set up the high press, they had to change, and they did a little bit second half, and gave us less opportunities to impact the game higher. And then honestly, we just had a few people find some fatigue throughout the game, and we kind of lost a little bit of that energy and allowed them to grow into the game a little bit more. And we had to grind it out. We had to fight. We had to dig really, really deep. The biggest message that they've had going into tonight was just have no regrets. When the final whistle goes, win, lose or draw, just have no regrets with how you performed and what your effort was. And from that perspective, it was unbelievable what we've just done.
And Coach, I think that was a key stoppage, the last 4 minutes of that first overtime, kind of on the back heel. You get to reset there, and then you score your goal in the first minute and 15. What was said to you guys, again, kind of playing on the back there for the first 4 minutes of that first overtime period and then getting reset?
Yeah, we had to manage the game a little bit. You know, we were under a spell of pressure, which we expected to be at some point against that team. I think if you were to just look at the quality of chances on both ends, it was probably pretty even. And for the most part, I felt like their possession was territorially a long way away from our goal. So we were comfortable with that, and we're comfortable out of possession. I would have liked for us to do a better job with the ball, but they played a very unique shape that caused us some issues, and we knew as we went through the scout and tried to determine what we were going to do tactically that there was going to be some challenges with the way that they played, but also some opportunities on the counter-attack, some opportunities in transition where we felt like we could hurt them, and we definitely knew that on set pieces we had the size advantage, and the irony is it was someone that was 5'7" that put the final ball in the back of the net, but yeah, we'll take it.
And Coach, two really key players you were able to neutralize today. Meinhardt, it was Dukeski that had the huge save, the save of the season there, and then Fabio, number 22, the defender. He seemed to win every ball in the air, but surely those were guys you had prepared well to handle.
Of course. I mean, Alex Meinhardt's he might be the best striker in college soccer, quite honestly. He's such a complete, well-rounded player. The kid's going to go on and have a career for sure. So I thought there was a key moment in the first half when he just came on where he feinted the shot and chopped it onto his left foot, and Aaron did brilliantly 1v1 defensively. And then Texas come up with a save when we needed him to, but I think a save that he expected to make as well. So honestly, outside of that and one they had to go over the bar, like I didn't feel like we gave up too much. I really didn't feel like they're going to have had more of the ball today. But in terms of quality of chances, I thought we were incredibly stubborn. The back three was immense. Obviously, Bjorn was probably playing on one lung. I think he's been struggling a little bit this week, but the collective effort of the group defensively today was what it needed to be for us to get it done. So incredibly proud.
And lastly, Coach, you've run the gauntlet before. How important is it that you guys are winning these games the way you're winning them? First one goes to penalties. That time, a little bit of chaos. You bundle in a goal. The experience that you can take into the next round.
Yeah, we can. Look, we're still a pretty young group, and we can still continue to improve. So I just said there. I honestly think Tulsa might be one of the best three teams in the country that we've just played against. So there's every chance that whoever we face next week, we'll have more of the ball, and we'll go back to being kind of what we've been all season, and feeling like we have a bit more possession, a bit more territory. But that's a very, very good team with a lot of experience, a lot of quality players. So we had to be accepting of the fact that they were going to have possession at times. And obviously, be patient and be really resilient, and that word resilience was absolutely there for us today.
Coach, you had a few players take some knocks in this one, obviously. You mentioned Bjorn was struggling a bit, as well as Ryan and Ike. Obviously they were able to come back into the match, but how does this kind of speak about the depth of your squad?
Yeah, it was interesting because players were doing so well that we didn't want to make changes necessarily. So Ike being one of them, thought that was probably Ike's best game, maybe Ike's best game of the season. So Elijah can feel a little hard done by that he didn't get his opportunity earlier in the game, but it was just a really, really good performance from Mike. Tactically, he understood what we were looking for from him on that side of the pitch, probably with respect better than Fred did to start the game. So we were more effective down the right than we were down the left today. And Sergio probably came on and did a little better of being higher up the pitch to affect their fullbacks, who are both very good and like to be involved in the attack. So between that and then again when Otto came on, when Crooksy came on, they all did well. So it became a rotation of those players a little bit, but of course the fact that we get to overtime and we still haven't had to use Tony when again he's a player that can definitely impact the game. You still have the likes of Birch and others that have played a lot of minutes this season and been important pieces for us that we still have in terms of that quality of depth. It's been a mainstay of the season. I hope that again a night like tonight reinforces how important that is and that everyone stays incredibly bought in, which surely they will at this point going into an Elite 8 game.
Yeah, one more thing. What are the next steps? Obviously you don't know your opponent yet. How do the next couple of days work out?
If I had it my way, they'll probably be asleep for 40 of the next 48 hours, quite honestly. Like I said, we travelled on Wednesday, and there's a few people that for whatever reason the travel they struggle with that a little bit, and they need some rest. They need to recover. And we said, there's every chance that we could be on the plane tomorrow watching Providence play Georgetown, and you just don't know. That's going to be a really interesting game. We could be hosting an Elite 8 game at Dick Deles next week, and what's that worth? What's that mean to you? That was the message before the game, and they showed what it meant. They showed how important that was to them, and I'm incredibly proud of them.
Coach, how about the historical piece to all this? It's been 40 years since the last time this program has gone to the Elite 8 team. What does it mean, this moment, for you as a head coach, but also a proud alumnus of Ace University?
Yeah, Andy had a joke with them there that they've now surpassed anything that we achieved here as players. So we were a little disgruntled, but no, it's incredible. It's incredible. We feel like we have a team this year that's is human enough to have some games that haven't quite gone our way that we expected to, but good enough to compete with the likes of Tulsa today. Obviously, Pitt, Marshall, Penn State, Akron, other mainstay names that are permanent features in the top 10, top 25 in the country. We can play with anyone in the country. We really, truly do believe that. And again, we've shown that again. To come here against the quality of attacking players that they have and keep a clean sheet is saying something about the quality of what we have at our disposal.
Thanks, Coach.
No problem.
All right, guys.
Thanks,
Thank you. Congrats.
All right.